There's no reason for you to believe me when I tell you that I am a sheep. In the same vein, don't take my word for it when I tell you that I am a knife. However, I am both, and if you don't hackle me, I will prove it to you. Now let me start with a brief description of my childhood. I was born in a green and pleasant field and raised, along with my brothers and sisters, by a pleasant, bearded man. That man took care of all my needs and as a sideline kept mumbling unintelligible words to no one in particular. Life, as they say, was good. Now don't get me wrong here. One hears stories, and one of them was about a bearded man who was about to sacrifice his son only to replace him, in the last moment, with a sheep. You can live your life believing stories and conspiracy theories, but I am a sensible sheep. What I see is what I believe. Of course, in the future, I may be presented with evidence to the contrary, but until then, the bearded man is my savior and provider. And if some sheep, black ones usually, elect to go the wrong way, all I can say to them is, good luck. I'm sorry to interrupt my learned friend's fairy tale, but my childhood was very different. I came into the world in a very straightforward manner. Some bearded men hammered me into existence, and here I am. I was given to another bearded man. I believe some money changed hands, and started work with no childhood whatsoever. I'll tell you all about it in a while, but I believe my colleague would like to continue his story. Please, contrary to what you might think, life in the field is very complex. Most of the days, the bearded man is absent, and we are left to our own devices. As a result, there are more of us in the field. As there is no room in the field, the bearded man comes every now and again, and those of us who are senior enough are taken to a bigger and better field. It's a happy occasion. Oh, every so often, the bearded man makes love to one of the flock. It's a great honor to be chosen, if a little awkward. Or, so I'm told. But I'll give way to my colleague. One hears many heroic stories about the lives of great knives. I, however, wasn't much of a hero. Life as a knife doesn't allow for too much free will. You just adjust your will to the hand that holds you. The bearded man used me to chop bits of babies' sexual organs and to make them cry. As they were very young, they tended not to be upset for too long. If anything, the bearded man's mumbles were more upsetting to them than their dicks being chopped. Don't get me wrong though, I'm not complaining. A job is a job. I would, however, like to slit a proper throat before they melt me. If you conclude that I am not the sharpest of knives, you might be onto something. But enough said. Please, as I was growing up, I developed an understanding of what is called speech. I could tell the difference between Welsh and English as spoken in New Zealand. I found it hard to distinguish between Hebrew and Arabic though. Your turn, please. That's funny you should mention this, but I was, very early in life, an expert on those two sister languages. My bearded man, for example, was a Hebrew speaker. Every time I heard him mumble, I knew I was needed for another boring dick-cutting job. I would daydream about the day when my bearded man might, say, be attacked by an Arabic-speaking man, so I could at least have a chance to do something heroic. You know, legends tell us the Hebrew-speaking bearded men were, in the past, quite nifty at throat-slitting. To the speakers of Hebrew it is, as they say, a dying art. Thank God I was sold to a new owner. Hearing my new owner mumble in Arabic got me into a frenzy. But I give way to my learned friend. Ah, that's okay. After you. So, we meet at last. I take it you are what they call a sheep. Do you know what I am? Do you think I'm stupid? You're a knife, of course. Why do you ask? Aren't you afraid of me? Should I be? I slit throats. That's what I do now. Throats. Interesting. Your new owner, he speaks Arabic, right? Yes, so? They don't bother his sheep. If anybody should worry, it's your Hebrew-speaking former owner.